G'day everybody, I'm Bevan, and today we're diving into setting up the Commerce PayPal module with Drupal. We'll explore what works and what doesn't, and the surprises along the way. I'm here to make the mistakes so that you don't have to. In the first half of this video, we'll start by installing the Commerce PayPal module, configuring the minimum configuration that we need to simulate a successful order so as to get you up and running as quickly as possible. The second half of this video is dedicated to some gotchas. I'll show some false assumptions that I made along the way so that you can avoid them on your PayPal integration journey. And then we'll dig into some more technical aspects to work around those. Hey, so before we get started, I just want to cover a few things and then we'll get into installing it, yeah? Okay. I want to discuss a little bit about my previous experiences here with setting up the Commerce PayPal module. I came in quite fresh, but I haven't worked with the Commerce module for a long time, if at all. So it was a bit of a learning curve for me to get it up and running. A couple of misassumptions I made. We'll get into a thing called checkout flows. I made an incorrect assumption that I had to set the checkout flow that's supplied with the Commerce PayPal module onto my order type. That appeared to make sense. Don't do that. And the other thing that I wanted to cover was that I got thrown by the fact there's one of the elements that shows when you go through a checkout flow is empty. To my mind, I went, that doesn't make sense. I don't want to see that. I don't want my users to see that. So I went into the checkout flows and I removed that, which then caused the PayPal buttons not to appear on the final checkout page. I've gone ahead and patched the module and uploaded a patch to that issue in an attempt to not have that panel appear and be empty so it won't tempt anybody else to go and turn it off like I did and cause the same kind of headaches. Excelsior! Okay, now we can really get into it. This is the part where we get to install the Commerce PayPal module and the Commerce module into a fresh install of Drupal. Let's get stuck into it. Here we are, I've installed a fresh Drupal site. So the next step is to go and install the Commerce module and the Commerce PayPal module. Click on Extend where we can go and enable those same modules. We'll come down here to PayPal. Right, so we're going to install Commerce module, Commerce product, Commerce cart, Commerce checkout. And then we'll run down and click install. It'll actually tell you. You must enable commerce, address, entity, inline entity,
form, token, commerce order, commerce price, commerce store, commerce number pattern, entity reference, visions, profile, state machine, modules to install commerce cart. You must enable the commerce payment module to install commerce PayPal.
That means it's going to enable them for you. So would you like to continue with the above? Yes, we would like to continue. Now I know from experience this takes on my machine approximately 20 minutes. So we wait.
2,000 years later.
Hey, congratulate yourself. We've installed the modules. The next thing we're going to do is set up a store. We now have our commerce menu item up here. I'm going to click on that. So let's go ahead and click configuration here as well. This will take a while.
10 years later.
Okay, I just wanted to stop here and interject that the first time you access that configuration page, it does take a long time to load. At least it did for me. When you come back and access that again, after loading it the first time, it will be a lot quicker. Back to it. Okay, and here we are. So the first thing we're going to need to do is set up a store. First thing we're going to do is add a store. So let's click on stores and go add a store. And here we go. So for our purposes on the demo today, we'll just call it add store. Okay. Test example. The currency here. Now, because when we did our Drupal site install, our locality defaulted to the US, so we get a US dollar. Okay, I just wanted to jump back in here and clarify a bit about the currencies. If you're in a different country, you can add additional currencies to commerce. So the way you do that is looking at our store here, we've got the US dollar. You can go up to your commerce menu, go to configuration, and under store here you've got currencies, and you can actually add the currency that you want to support. I'm going to add the Australian dollar, and now we've got both available. So if I go back to that store, which I have saved and I've come back, but let's go look at that store and edit that. You'll see that I can now select the Australian dollar under currencies. So that's how you add a currency. back to adding your store.
I don't put an address in Australian address here, however. For Australia, street address. To 3 Nice Street, suburb Nice State, New South Wales, postcode 1224.
And click save. And that'll just get us a store which we can sell our products from. Why are you even setting up PayPal if you don't have something to sell? So we're gonna go and set up a product. Come along. The next thing we're going to do is add a product. So we come back to our commerce module. Products are not under configuration. So we go to a separate area where we can actually add a product entity in Drupal speak. We're going to add a product here. We're just going to create a product that I'm going to call my widget. I'm not even going to bother putting a description in for our purposes today. We just want a product that we can sell. Rather than save it though, we're going to go and save and add a variation. We need to add a variation to our product because the variations are what we set prices on. So add a product variation here, and now we can give that particular product variation an SKU. Give that my widget 1. I'm not going to bother providing list prices, it's beyond the scope of this at the moment. For now, I'm just going to add ourselves a price of 1 and save that. And now we have a product available to sell in our store. You ain't seen nothing yet. That was the easy bit. Now we're going to go set up a payment gateway. Okay, so now that we have both a store and a product, we're ready to go and configure a payment gateway. The way we do that is again go back to the commerce page, back into configuration. And you can come down to this payments section down here and you'll see payment gateways. Just click on that and there's a button add payment gateway. Some of the configurations on here are quite complex. We're going to select this PayPal checkout preferred. Going to change this form. Alright, so let's go check the name field. This is the internal name for this payment gateway. It helps identify this particular gateway within your Drupal site. And I'm just going to call it PayPal Payment Gateway. The next section where we choose this plugin, we're going to choose PayPal Checkout Preferred. This plugin integrates your Drupal commerce site with PayPal's checkout system. It's preferred because it offers a streamlined, secure payment process and it is widely compatible, making it the most likely choice for your setup. So let's go ahead and click that. You see it's updated our display name for us. The display name, the name displayed to users during checkout. It should be clear and indicative of the payment method. So we'll notice that when we do the checkout. So this is an administrative name. This is the one that gets displayed to users during the checkout process. Let's come down to mode now. This is, you got sandbox or live. We're going to leave it on sandbox. Sandbox mode is for testing, allowing you to simulate transactions without processing real payments. And live mode is for actual transactions on your site. So PayPal provides a sandbox API, so we can perform those transactions and simulate them against PayPal without doing actual real transactions. PayPal Commerce Platform features. They accept PayPal with smart payment buttons that allows your customers to pay using their PayPal account via dynamic adaptive buttons. And the other option we have here is accept credit cards, which enables direct credit card payments without needing a PayPal account. I've got to tell you, that accept credit card selection box, you will see later on in this video where I go back and change it to use that accept credit cards, and we see that when we go through the payment process, it gives an error on the page. Just says something went wrong. I went to record that to put it as part of my intro, as part of the gotchas later on, and it worked. So I was going to put a section into this video to go, hey, if you come back later and try it, it does work. And when I went to record that, I turned it back on and I got the error again. So I don't know what to tell you. If it didn't work, then it worked, then it didn't work again. I need to do a bit of investigation to figure out what's going on there, but your mileage may vary. API credentials. These are your unique PayPal API credentials, granting your website access to PayPal's API for processing payments. In our case, we are going to go and get the API credentials for our PayPal's business sandbox API. So we're just going to skip this field for the moment and we'll come back to it after we've explained the rest of the fields. But hold these and we'll come down. Collect billing information. If disabled, PayPal handles the collection of billing details in its interface, simplifying your checkout process. So this saves us having to collect billing information during the checkout process for the user. Show smart payment buttons on the cart page is fairly self-explanatory, but I'll come through here and read this for you. Enabling this displays PayPal's smart payment buttons on the cart page, offering a quicker checkout experience by allowing users to pay directly from the cart. So what this actually does is it does what it says. It puts the PayPal checkout buttons, the PayPal smart payment buttons directly onto the shopping cart, because the checkout process does things like collect your billing information and such like that. So it's a streamlined way of integrating that billing information collection process. Webhook ID. I've not used this. Used for advanced integration, it identifies your site to PayPal for receiving notifications about payments. For our users, we're not going to use this for our purposes today. That's an advanced use case. So just put that aside. A transaction type. So this is capture, is it automatically completes the transaction once the customer approves and authorizes, holds the funds and requires manual or automatic actions to finalize the payment. Again, we're just selling a product. We just leave it as it is. We'll go ahead with capture. Now, disable funding sources. You can choose not to accept specific payment methods like PayPal credit or certain debit cards. This can be used to tailor the payment options to your business needs. In our case, for our purposes today, we're just accepting those all as they are. Very similar with disabled credit cards. Similar to funding sources that let you exclude certain credit card types from being used in transactions. Now, this checkbox here, we've got update the billing customer profile. If enabled, the customer's billing address from PayPal will update their profile on your site. This is related to collecting billing information. Right, so remember we saw this up here with the collect billing information that when disabled, PayPal will collect the billing information instead in the opened modal. So PayPal's going to collect the billing information, and with this connected, it'll also end up getting saved against our user. Now, quick deviation to explain this a little bit for you. If you go into configuration, user profile types, when we've installed Commerce, it's created this customer user profile. And if you look in there, we've got address. So that's actually what's going to happen is when you pay with PayPal, the address saved for the user paying via PayPal will be saved to the user in Drupal's address field under this customer profile. Right, so what do we got next? Enable credit card icons. So this displays icons of accepted credit cards during checkout, providing a visual cue to customers about available payment options. Hey, it's me again. Quick interjection. I just want to mention that I'm pretty certain this checkbox only applies if you've got accept credit cards enabled. That time that I did see the accept credit cards form working, that one time, we saw credit card icons when I've been working with PayPal. I believe that's what this checkbox for. However, I don't know why it's enabled even when we don't have accept credit cards selected. That I don't know. Let's leave that enabled as well. Smart payment button style. Customize options for the appearance of PayPal's smart payment buttons. We're not going to customize those either. We're just going to leave those as they are. Now we're getting into another advanced field again. Conditions. Allow setting up specific conditions for when this payment gateway should be available. For example, in an advanced use case, you may have various different product types. We've only got one, so there's one to select for, but you could come through and go, this payment gateway only available for certain product types as a simple use case. But in our case, just leave those empty. This is related to that. Don't fill this radio button either. And then status determines whether the payment gateway is active and available for use on your site. We're going to leave everything here as default and then come back to client ID and secret. And now we're going to talk about how to access your PayPal API keys. Okay, so filling in the client ID and the secret means we need to go and log into our PayPal account to look these up. As previously mentioned, we need the client ID and the secret for our sandbox account for our purposes here. So I am going to go to paypal.com. I'm going to log into my account. Now, I have previously upgraded my PayPal account to a business PayPal account. You will need to do the same. It's free, it's easy. You'll need to do that to do what we're doing next. What you'll see is you've got this developer link up on the top menu here. Click that developer link and it'll take you to your developer portal. Once you're on your developer portal, come down to Sandbox accounts. And here we've got access to a pre-configured Sandbox account. There's two of them. There's a personal account and a business account. Now, the business account is the one that we're going to pay funds into. So when we go through later and simulate purchasing a product, the money is going to be paid into this business account from this personal account. For setting up the payment gateway, we need to specify the account that the funds will be paid into. So simply click on that business account there and come down here to the REST API apps and our default application. This is the credentials you want to copy into our form here. So we're going to take the client ID, come back to Drupal, paste that in the client ID, and then grab the secret and paste that in the secret, and simply go and save our form. And yes, I've changed my keys. Do I really have to say that? And then we have it. We've configured a payment gateway and we're ready to go and simulate purchasing a product. It's testing time. Yeah, it's testing time. Yeah, I think that's stupid too, but I'm keeping it. Let's go and simulate purchasing a product as an admin user. Let's click up here on commerce and come down to products, where we can see the product we configured before. Go and view this product and we'll see our add to cart button down here. So go ahead and add that product to the cart. Get a Drupal message up here that says my widget added to your cart. So click on that to go view your cart and we'll see the product added. Great news. So here we go, we see the PayPal smart buttons here. Due to the checkbox we clicked before to show smart payment buttons on the cart, and they're added here, so you can go directly through here and log into PayPal and do a purchase here. The checkout process is also here. This checkout process is always available whether these buttons show or not, and I'm going to go through the full checkout process. And there's a few gotchas. As a brand new user with a brand new setup in this situation, there's a few things you may want to know. So I've created a brand new issue on the Commerce PayPal module to describe this empty payment information box. This is only ever going to be empty the very first time you see it. This order information page collects billing information and payment information. The billing information is things like email address and address. Because we've asked the PayPal module to collect the billing information, it is not asking for the address information here, and it's also not asking, it's not showing the user's email address. But when we click through to continue to review, we'll see that both of them are here. Again, contact information has shown up, and because we're a logged in user, it's retrieved the email address from that user. So if we go and actually look at our profile for the admin user and go and edit them, we'll see that it's grabbed this email address here for this user and it's populated it into the contact information. And also our payment information. This is where it selects a payment method and it's automatically selected PayPal. That's the only payment method. This is the display name that we filled in on the payment gateway form. That empty payment box, you can actually go and change the payment information. And if you go back this time, now our order information is showing the payment method. And as at this point, you won't see that blank box again. Even if we go, and I'll do this for you, go to products, actually no, not the products, go to our shopping cart again, remove the product. Right, so our shopping cart's empty. Let's go back to products, go to our product, add it to our cart, go and view our cart, go to our checkout, and here we go. It's not blank this time. So I actually have a patch to help hide that box. It's probably not the correct fix, but if you come across that, I found it confusing. It threw me for a while. When you see that blank box, just ignore it. There's also a issue open on the commerce module about this payment method only showing when there's only one payment method. There is an issue open for that too, so be aware of that. For the moment, I believe the workaround for that is go to your theme and use CSS to hide this. For now, this is what it's supposed to do. It is supposed to show that payment method. And the next step is to simulate a payment. Okay, so we're ready to simulate a payment via PayPal. Didn't I say that before? We were gonna test simulating a payment. Get on with it, Bevan. You can see that these smart buttons, we've got two options here. The PayPal button will open a dialog box and have you log into your PayPal account. Now this is simulating as a user. It's log into the user's PayPal account. And there's also the option to pay by debit or credit card, which is also powered by PayPal. If you recall, we're configured to use a sandbox, and we have put the sandbox API credentials into our payment gateway. So when we go through and pay, we'll be simulating a user paying to that business account. In order to simulate this, our personal account is what we'll use to log into PayPal. I'll show you, we'll get to it. And we've got the two options. We can also pay by credit card using a simulated credit card number also supplied by PayPal. I just want to touch on this debit and credit card. As I mentioned when I was showing the payment gateway, there was an option to show the credit card options. So if I actually go to payment gateways here, let's just review this. So the PayPal Commerce Platform features. Accept PayPal with smart payment buttons. And that's what we're seeing here. This is PayPal with smart payment buttons, and it also provides a debit or credit card. If you come back, this doesn't mention credit cards, but you can also select accept credit cards. We haven't selected that yet. We see a debit or credit card box. And if we quickly just click on that, it loads us up the ability to pay with a credit card, and we'll simulate doing that as well. Just want to quickly demonstrate here that if we change this to accept credit cards and save and come back and refresh this page, now we get this pay and complete purchase button. There's no credit card options here. Now just to be sure, I'm going to go back to our cart, remove the product, and then go back to our products. Go to our product, add it to cart, go and view our cart, go through the checkout process. And you'll see that even though on the payment gateway, just quickly jump over there already, having changed this setting, that sorry, I'm lost. It was actually gone. Having changed this to accept credit cards, we no longer have the show smart payment buttons on the checkout. So when you've changed that to credit cards, it must update the form. It does. Look at that. I'm learning this on the fly. Right, so accept credit cards for the PayPal Commerce Platform features. You lose that ability to show the PayPal buttons here. When you go to the checkout, we're seeing PayPal twice. It's collecting the billing information, the address information, obviously because PayPal's not able to check that. Just gonna fake this up quickly, just to continue and pay and complete purchase. Now we click this, and we encountered an unexpected error processing your payment. I don't have an answer for that yet. It's not something I've investigated. I just went to check that, see what happens. So on your payment gateway, stick to accept PayPal with smart payment buttons. It didn't make sense to me. I thought, what does this do? You can pay by credit card using these buttons anyway. What does this do? it causes problems. So stick to this option. Let's change that back. So I just wanted to quickly cover that before we went into simulating a payment. Now to start again, I don't think I even need to remove that product, right? Let's go back to our cart. Here's our buttons are back. Let's simulate a payment through the checkout process. Here's our payment method again. Continue to review. Okay, and now we can actually go and do a payment via PayPal. Finally, this is it now, for real. So, we are going to need to log into PayPal with a personal PayPal account. Now, I logged in before to go and get access to my Sandbox accounts. I logged in with my own PayPal account. This time we're going to log in with a Sandbox personal account. So that does mean, once again, logging back into paypal.com as myself in order to go and look up the details for the personal business Sandbox, for the personal Sandbox account. So if we just go ahead and log into PayPal once more. Okay, and once again go up to, once it finishes loading, once again log into the developer dashboard. Go to our Sandbox accounts, and then this time, instead of clicking in the business, we're going to click in the personal. And from here we can get the email and the password. So copy the email, take that through to your dialog box. Now let's just click back on review to simulate this properly. Right, so you put the email address into the mobile number, click back to the Sandbox accounts again, copy the password to the clipboard, come back to that dialog box and log in. So we're simulating logging in as this Sandbox personal user account. Let's ignore my Bitwarden, and let's do a payment via a National Australia Bank for $1.44. Right, we'll see if we complete that purchase. And the purchase will go through, it'll generate an order. Right, your order number is 1. Great, so now we can actually see that order in the commerce section, in this section up here. We can go to orders, and you'll see this order number 1 that we just saw for $1. Let's go and view that order. Now you probably want to also confirm that, hey, did this order go through properly into PayPal? Did the PayPal account? So what we can do again is go back and simulate logging in as that personal user and see their activity history in PayPal. So let's go back to the Sandbox accounts, and we're going to again copy this email address, but this time I'm going to open a private window, go to sandbox.paypal.com. That's important. Go to sandbox.paypal.com, click on the broken login button up there, paste in that email address. Now go back to our other window where we're looking at our sandboxes, grab the password, and I'm going to use that password, and we're logging into the Sandbox user account here. Okay, and here's our recent activity. This will be the payment that we just put through for $1. Right, so it's been registered on that personal user's account. Now we can also confirm that it got paid into the Sandbox account by doing the same thing. We're going to log out of PayPal up here in this private window, go back to our Sandbox accounts, but this time we want to go to the business account and log into that account and look at its account history. So we can grab that there, log in again, this time log in as this business user, grab the password, log in, And now in this sandbox account, you can go up to activity. Close this. Why is this? Got to click on that first. And let's look at all transactions. And what we'll see is that same $1 transaction just come through here, right? It's great. So that's how you can confirm the payments are going through. So that was simulating doing it with a logging through PayPal. You can do the same by let's do it pay by credit card, right?
Do it again. I wasn't looking.
Sorry, I clicked around there. Let's come here back to let's do another purchase. We'll do it again. Add this to our cart. Add to cart. Go and view our cart. Go to checkout. Go to review. And this time we're going to do a debit credit card. Now, this time what you want to do is go to your sandbox account again and go to again your personal account and grab the card number you can use. You can use this card number to go, oops, sorry, wrong screen, my apologies. Enter that card number. We can grab the expiry date from PayPal, which is 0925. And just put 123 for CSC. It does the currency conversion. I'm based in Australia in this account, so it's done that for me. Because I know how to fill in Australian details better, being an Australian myself, I'm going to change that to Australian. You can see that this personal account's name is John Doe, so we're going to use that for the first name and last name, postcode 1234, mobile number 1234 12345. Click the confirm box and pay now. What you'll see this time that you have not paid through the PayPal account itself, you've paid through the credit card registered to PayPal. So if you log into the personal account this time, that payment won't be on the activity history in the personal user's PayPal account, but it is in the business one. If we refresh this now, and here's our payment come through there. So fantastic, we know that our payments are working, and that's us doing this as a admin user. I'm just going to go and check that order. It's a matter of course. There's our 2 orders. So that's all done it as a logged in user. What we want to do this time is simulate it as someone who's not logged in, because the process is a little bit different. I know, it's dragging on, but we've got a lot to get through. We really do need to cover this. We have done a payment as an admin user. We've got to go through it as a guest because the UX is different, and there's some things I want to show you there, and you'll probably want to know it, so hang tight, we're almost done. Just grab that address here. And in a new private window, we are going to go to the website. And what you see at this point, we haven't configured anything like adding shopping cart or products to our menus. We haven't done anything about displaying products. We've purely just made products, made them be able to be bought through the payment gateway. We're just configuring PayPal, not setting up commerce to display and theme products, but we can go directly to the product at... Oh! No? That's because I removed it and added it again. Okay. Product number 2. Let's add that to cart as a guest and go and view our cart. And again, we've got this. We could just pay from here. It'll do the same process, but we're not going to do that. We are going to click on checkout. And now we've got the option to log in as a returning customer. We can log in at this point. And then get access to our stored information on our custom profile in the user profiles, or continue as guest, which I'm going to do. At which point, you saw last time when we were logged in user, it automatically pulled the email address out. This time we're not logged in, so it can't do that. So I am just going to add example@example.com, example@example.com. Again, we've got the broken payment information as this user. It's just empty. We're aware of that. Just ignore that. Click continue to review. We go to the review. Now it's pulled in our example.com and our payment information. Okay, so we can go ahead and continue just as we did when we were logged in with the admin into Drupal with the admin account. And this time, PayPal has remembered our business login address from when we logged in previously. So if we go back to our account here and copy that and log in, and this time, just for shits and giggles, going to log in with the Visa account, complete the purchase, simulate paying with my credit card via PayPal rather than directly through this interface here. And now, as an anonymous user, we get the option to create an account at the end, which I'm not going to do. That's just going to generate an account. So there's our order. We can go and look at that order in our orders here. If we refresh this, there's our new order with the new email address and the new anonymous user, and that's it. So that brings us to the end of our how to set up and configure the Commerce PayPal module in Drupal. There was a lot that we had to cover, quite a few gotchas, things to configure, how to integrate with Drupal, how to test the payment, etc. Obviously, there's a lot of things we didn't cover. There's a lot of customizations, the things with conditions, using your webhook IDs, setting up the menu items to point to your cart, the shopping cart blocks, those sort of things are all things we didn't cover, and it's all stuff you're going to have to consider when you're building your website. So setting up Commerce PayPal is quite a lot to chew. I've covered the basics as much as possible. I'm currently developing a Drupal course for content managers. If you're new to Drupal or you know somebody that's looking for some basic training, someone who's more of a content editor that's been popped in front of Drupal, said, hey, come along and manage this website, and they don't even know where to start, that's what that course is for. I'll be probably putting that up on Udemy. Thanks for sitting along, and I'll see you next time. If you got any questions, please leave some questions in the comments. I'll try and answer those. Thank you. See you next time. Cheers.